I almost quit my podcast before I ever hit record. Not because I didn't care, not because I didn't have something to say, but because I didn't feel qualified. I kept telling myself, if I'm going to talk about health, wellness, and mental clarity, I need to look a certain way. I need to sound a certain way. I need to be an expert. But here's the truth. I was scared to be seen before I felt finished. I've lost over 100 pounds. I've reversed my type 2 diabetes naturally. I broke the all or nothing cycle that controlled my entire life. I'm mentally clearer and happier than I've ever been. And I still looked in the mirror and I thought, who do you think you are? I'm not David Goggins. I'm not an amazing talker on stage like Tony Robbins. I'm not some polished guru with a 6-camera studio or a perfect script. I'm John. And that almost stopped me. Now, if you're new here, I'm John Adams, and I host the Health, Tech, and Wellness podcast with my co-host, Crystal, and I'm the creator of Living 95 and Amplify. My mission is simple. I help real people. I help founders, creators, everyday overworked people to build systems that actually last without burning themselves out in the process. And today, we're talking about the biggest burnout of them all, imposter syndrome. In the beginning, people kept telling me, John, you need to share your story because they saw the transformation. But all I saw were the experts on YouTube. And I convinced myself that I just didn't belong here. Then, when I finally gave in and hit that record button, guess what I did? I tried to play a character. My first real video, it was called Why Diets Don't Work. It was clickbait. It had the polished tone that everybody talks about. And I was trying to sound like every other wellness channel that's probably on your feed right now. And it went nowhere because it wasn't me. And that's when I realized something. I wasn't afraid of failing. I was afraid of feeling ordinary on camera. I thought that I had to be impressive. But what people on here actually need is someone real. Imposter syndrome isn't about knowledge. It's about identity. It shows up when you're trying to perform instead of serve. I was trying to be an expert, but what I really needed to be was a guide. I left a comfortable corporate career. I started over in my 40s. I built Living 95 from scratch, and I'm still in it, still growing, still learning. And that's the entire point. You don't need to be at the finish line. You just need to be one step ahead of the person that you're trying to help. When I was 100 pounds heavier, sitting in that office, stuck in that cycle, I didn't need a medical journal. I needed someone who'd already walked the walk and could talk it. Someone honest, someone human. Let me tell you this. Confidence doesn't come from a title. It comes from repetition, from building a system that lets you show up as yourself without overthinking every other word. That's why I built Amplify, not to create more experts, but to remove the friction that we all feel. When your tech just works, when your workflow becomes predictable, when you're not stressed about buttons and lighting and editing, you stop performing and you just start talking. Let me ask you something. What is one thing that you could talk about for 30 minutes with no notes, without stopping, probably go until somebody looks at you and says, hey, I got to walk away? That's the lane you should be in. And in this guru world, that's your niche. That's your lived experience. That's your authority, not the degree on your wall, not the follower count, the scars, the lessons, the reps. If you're waiting to start until you feel like you've arrived, you're going to wait forever. Stop trying to be the expert and start being the guide that you need to be. The world doesn't need more gurus. There's a ton of them here on YouTube. It needs more real people who are willing to say, hey, I've been there. Here's what helped me. Build your system. Find your voice and hit record. And if this helped you, hit subscribe. Not because I'm an expert, but because you're tired of listening to people who don't sound like you. And if you've already made it this far, YouTube already thinks that you're going to love this next video right up here. Or if you're serious about finally getting out of your own way and hitting record with confidence, check out my Riverside course that I've started right up here. I'll show you exactly how to use their amazing recording and editing software to build a simple system so you stop overthinking and start recording. And as always, stay healthy, stay balanced, and keep driving forward. I'll see you next time.